Your phone sits on the nightstand. It vibrates, just once. You feel that sharp jolt in your chest. Your thumb twitches. You've been waiting for this notification for 3 hours. Most men think this feeling is attraction. It's not. It's an addiction to validation. You reach for the device before you even realize you've moved. You see her name. You already have the reply drafted in your head. Something clever. Something to keep the conversation alive. Stop. Right now, in this silence, you are making the fatal mistake that kills 90% of modern relationships before they even start. You are being available. In the eyes of a high-value woman, available is synonymous with disposable. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." But look at you. A piece of glass and aluminum vibrates, and you lose your composure. You lose your frame. You lose the game. We live in an age of digital noise. Everyone is screaming for attention. Everyone is online. Everyone is desperate to be seen. If you act like everyone else, you will be treated like everyone else. But the Stoic man is different. He is the mountain. He does not move because the wind blows. He does not reply because the phone vibrates. The secret to attracting any woman over text isn't about finding the perfect line. It's about the power you reclaim when you realize that your time is the most valuable currency you own. Today, we are stripping away the modern desperation. We are applying 2,000-year-old wisdom to your lock screen. I'm going to break down the 6 laws of the Stoic digital frame. These rules aren't just about dating. They are about regaining your masculinity in a world that wants you weak, reactive, and addicted. Rule number 1 is the foundation. Without it, you are just a ghost haunting your own phone. Are you ready to see why your fast replies are actually pushing her away? Let's begin. You stare at the blinking cursor. Your heart rate is up. Your palms are slightly damp. You've reread your last message 10 times, looking for a flaw. This is not love. This is biological slavery. The average man today is a victim of his own dopamine. He sends a text, and his entire mood for the next hour depends on a bubble appearing on a screen. If she replies, he's a king. If she doesn't, he's a beggar. This is what we call overinvestment, and it is the fastest way to kill attraction. Why? Because women, especially high-value women, have a built-in radar for desperation. They can smell it through the screen. They can feel it in the punctuation. They can see it in how fast you hit send. Desperation is the scent of a man who has nothing else going on. Now, let's look at the Stoic alternative. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, sat in a tent on the front lines of a war. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The text message is an outside event. Her reply is an outside event. You cannot control her. You can only control your response. The law of emotional indifference is not about being a jerk. It's about being unshakable. Imagine a mountain. Does the mountain care if a bird lands on it? No. Does it care if the bird flies away? No. The mountain remains the mountain. When you send a message, you must fire and forget. You send it because you wanted to say it, not because you need something back. If she takes 6 hours to reply, good. You were busy building your empire. If she never replies, even better. You just saved yourself months of wasting time on someone who didn't recognize your value. This shift in perspective changes the energy of the entire interaction. You stop being the hunter. You become the prize. But indifference is only the foundation. It's the shield. To actually draw her in, to make her wonder about you, you need to master the art of the frame. Most men explain too much. They talk too much. They try to convince her of their value. A Stoic knows that value is never explained. It is demonstrated through what you don't say. Which brings us to rule number 2. And this is where most men fail because they can't handle the silence. Do you have the courage to say less? Your thumb hovers over the glass. You've just written 4 lines of text. You're explaining why you were late. You're explaining your work schedule. You're explaining your intentions. Delete it. All of it. Every time you explain yourself to a woman you barely know, you are handing her a piece of your throne. You are saying, your judgment of me matters more than my own reality. This is the explainer's trap. A Stoic knows that truth does not need a bodyguard of words. Zeno of Citium taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. In the world of digital communication, this translates to a simple law. The man who says less holds the frame. When she asks, "What have you been up to?" the average man writes a paragraph. He wants to sound interesting. He wants to sound busy. The Stoic man replies with 3 words. Or he doesn't reply at all until the work is done. Understand this. The text is the text, but the subtext is the prize. Subtext is the invisible vibration beneath the words. If you write a long, clever paragraph, the subtext is, "Please like me. Please see how cool I am. Please don't leave me on red." If you write, "Working, talk later," the subtext is, "My mission comes first. I am focused. You are a guest in my world, not the host." High-value men do not narrate their lives. They live them. Think about the texture of your phone in your hand. It's cold. It's plastic. It's just a tool. Do not let this tool become an umbilical cord to her approval. Stop trying to be engaging. Start being substantial. A man of substance does not leak energy. He does not perform. He does not dance for a haha or an emoji. When you master the frame, you realize that your silence is more provocative than your best punchline. It creates a vacuum. And nature, especially human nature, abhors a vacuum. She will try to fill that silence. She will wonder. She will lean in. But there is a danger here. If you master the words but fail the timing, the frame breaks. You can have the best subtext in the world, but if you deliver it at the wrong moment, you look like a child playing a game. Most men use silence as a tactic. The Stoic uses silence as a lifestyle. There is a psychological rhythm to attraction that 99% of men break because they are too hungry for the result. Do you know how to wait? Not just wait for a reply, but wait for the right moment to even check the screen. Rule number 3 is about the one thing you can never get back. Time. 3 seconds. That is the average time it takes for a man to reach for his phone when it vibrates. 3 seconds to prove you have nothing more important in your life than a digital notification. To you, it's efficiency. To her, it's a lack of gravity. A man without gravity is easily moved. He is light. He is inconsequential. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "Nothing is ours except time." If time is the only thing you truly own, why are you giving it away for free? Why are you selling your focus for the price of a text message? The timing paradox is simple. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. In the modern dating market, silence is a vacuum, and nature, especially human psychology, cannot tolerate a vacuum. It must be filled. When you do not reply immediately, she begins to fill that silence with her own imagination. She checks her phone. Silence. She wonders what you are doing. Silence. She begins to construct a version of you that is busy, focused, and high value. You haven't said a word, yet you are becoming more interesting by the minute. This is not about waiting 3 hours because a YouTube guru told you to. That is a game. And high-value women see through games. The Stoic man doesn't wait to look busy. He is busy. His phone is in another room. His notifications are off. His mind is locked on his mission, whether that's building a business, training his body, or studying the greats. The blue light of the screen is a predator. It hunts your focus. When you finally reply, 4 hours later or the next morning, it isn't a tactic. It is a statement of fact. It says, "My world does not stop for you. But now that I am done, you have my attention." That attention, when finally given, carries 10 times the weight because it was earned. Most men are afraid that if they don't reply fast, she will lose interest. The opposite is true. If she loses interest because you are a man of purpose, she was never looking for a king. She was looking for an entertainer. Do not be the court jester. Be the king who is occasionally reachable. But what happens when the silence goes both ways? What happens when she is the one who stops responding? This is where the average man breaks. This is where he sends the double text. This is where he loses his soul. Rule number 4 is about the hardest part of the Stoic path. Rejection resilience. You check your phone for the 15th time today? Still nothing. The conversation is a graveyard, one-sided. Your last message sits there, blue and lonely, mocking you. Your ego is screaming. It's telling you to fix it. It's suggesting a follow-up, a joke to break the ice, a question to check in. Your thumb is twitching again. This is the moment where most men lose their soul. This is the moment they become the pursuer. In the Stoic Handbook, Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. She didn't reply. Pause. That is a fact. You feel rejected. Pause. That is an opinion. The Stoic man does not deal in opinions, he deals in reality. If she has ghosted you, she has handed you a gift. She has shown you her level of interest without you having to spend another dime or another hour on her. Why would you try to convince someone to see your value? A diamond doesn't scream at the passerby to notice its shine. It just sits there, heavy, unmoving. Here is the ghost frame. If she becomes a ghost, you become the fog. You do not send the double text. You do not ask what happened. You do not show a flicker of resentment. Resentment is a confession of weakness. It shows that her silence had the power to hurt you. Instead, you delete the thread, not out of anger, but out of house cleaning. You're making room for someone who has the maturity to communicate. A man of 35 should not be playing digital hide-and-seek. When you stop reacting to rejection, you become dangerous. You become a man who cannot be manipulated because you have no need for a specific outcome. You are a man who is willing to walk away and never look back. But to reach this level of mastery, to be truly unshakable, you have to realize a dark truth about why you were so attached to her reply in the first place. It wasn't about her. It was about a void inside you. Which brings us to the final and most brutal lesson, the one that separates the boys playing with apps from the men who command the world. The phone is not the problem. You are. Look at your reflection in the black screen after this video ends. Who is looking back? Is it a man who commands his own destiny? Or is he a man waiting for a digital ghost to validate his existence? The hard truth is this: the phone is not your problem. The woman is not your problem. The problem is the void. Most men in the modern world have no mountain to climb. They have no war to fight. They have no kingdom to protect. So they turn to their pockets. They look for a hit of dopamine from a stranger to feel alive. You're using digital attention as a substitute for masculine purpose. Seneca once said, "It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. That road is not found on an iPhone. It is found in the sweat of the gym. It is found in the late nights of building your empire. It is found in the silence of your own mind when you are alone and finally comfortable with it. When your life is empty, a single unread text feels like a catastrophe. But when your life is full, when you are the architect of your own world, a text message is just data. It is noise. It is insignificant. You don't need a hack to get her to reply. You need a mission that makes you forget to check if she did. Micro CTA. If you're tired of the games and ready to reclaim your frame, hit the subscribe button. We are rebuilding the modern man, one rule at a time. Stop chasing butterflies. Build a garden, and the butterflies will come. And if they don't, you still have your garden. You have the tools now. Indifference, frame, timing, resilience. But tools are useless in the hands of a man who refuses to work. Don't just watch this. Embody it. The next time that phone vibrates, don't look. Finish your work. The screen is dark. Now, prove it.